Hello everyone, what is up? In this video I would like to discuss a topic with you guys. I want to talk about the spy class and what I believe is one of the harder classes to perform well consistently with. I think as I've already said, the spy is one of the harder classes to play. It's a little bit more challenging. The reason being, in a random server in a random game, you might be able to get away with a lot of backstabs and a lot of infiltration and all, but as you start to get towards the more competitive scene where the players are a bit more well organized and they tend to communicate with one another quite a bit more. You gotta admit, it starts to really get harder to get behind them as they tend to know what's going on. They're much more aware of the surroundings. They tend to be able to hear you decloak a lot more. They tend to know where their real allies are, and it's just a lot harder to get those backstabs in. And you're pretty much left with the revolver. Now, I understand that the ambassador can be very devastating, but I'm talking about just the stock spy right now. So yeah. Um, I understand that the revolver is capable of dealing some generous damage, about half 100 damage every 625 milliseconds, and that could really be devastating. But let's not forget the amount of skill it takes to do that, to consistently hit targets with your revolver. One target right after another. It gets pretty hard, I shouldn't say hard, but it takes a bit more skill than other classes. So yeah, it's basically what I think of the spy as how he kind of relies on the flaws of the enemies, some weak spots, some blind spots, some open spots, and then to perform well. And I think that's a really how should I say this, risky, how should I say this, but I don't think it's very stable. I don't think it's really easy to having to rely on the enemy flaws that much, to get your backstabs and saps and all. And another thing about the sapper, I find that a lot of spies, when they go sap a building, especially in a random server and all, they're on a one-way trip, and they are basically on a one-way trip. They don't expect to get out. They pretty much don't expect to get out of that alive. They don't really expect a teammate to even make the attempt to try and save them. It's what I've been thinking. After observing other spies and talking to other people. But yeah. So they're also on these one-way sapper chips that also from probably some experience, I believe that a lot of them do tend to fail. So yeah, it's a really hard life as a spy. It's a really tough class to play. Yeah. So yeah. What do you guys and like I said, I'm only talking about the stock loader at the moment, so no red tape recorder, no ambassador, stuff like that. So yeah. And then you have those was it you have those maps where the action is really compact. Yeah, it's pretty hard to get a peaceful backstab. There's always someone watching someone's back and someone behind someone else watching his back and all. Or there's always a lot of action right before you get the backstab. Someone just knocks the enemy into the air, and you miss your chance as they go flying into the air from an allied rocket or whatnot. So yeah, there's a lot of interference when you're playing spy and all that stuff. So yeah, I want to know, what do you guys think of the spy's difficulty? Keep in mind, this isn't necessarily that he's underpowered. It's more like only counting his stock stuff and how much skill do you need to consistently perform well with. You just join random server and you do well. You join another one, do well. Join another one, do well. Or at least at a decent level. Being credit to team and all. I shouldn't say that. What? Let's go back to the word well. Yeah, perform well with. So yeah. I think that's what I want to say. So let me know what you think, and feel free to rate, comment, like, subscribe. I really appreciate all that stuff. So yeah. So I got like 8 seconds worth of video left. Well, time to procrastinate anyway. Alright, we'll see you everyone.